Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Going to read through pretty much the full article here. There's a link in the description. It's a very, very odd situation. A teacher has literally been knocked out. I mean, she was found unconscious, unresponsive. She was faint, she was coughing, she was dry heaving. She was in a very poor condition after basically being beaten up by two pupils at the elementary school that she's a teacher of. The two children are aged 4 and 5. They punched her, they kicked her, they were throwing things, they were flipping chairs in the classroom. So this happened in a place called Pines Lake Elementary, and we're going to have a closer look at the details. I should have mentioned, obviously, this happened in Florida, naturally. A teacher from Florida was taken to hospital after being attacked by a couple of 4 and 5-year-old pupils in her classroom. The youngsters who attend Pines Lakes Elementary in Pembroke Pines, Florida, were said to have thrown objects and flipped chairs in the classroom before allegedly attacking her, the teacher, using their fists and feet. The alleged assault occurred in the cool-down room at the elementary school shortly after 10 a.m. on Wednesday. According to a police report, an officer who responded to the attack found the teacher sitting on the ground and feeling faint, weak, and dazed. The report then states how she started coughing and dry heaving. By the time paramedics arrived at the school, the teacher was unresponsive and had to be taken to hospital. Fire rescue personnel brought the teacher out of the classroom on a stretcher in order to take her to Memorial Regional Hospital in Hollywood, Florida. The 5-year-old student faces the possibility of being charged with aggravated assault and battery with hands, fists, and feet. So, the 5-year-old may be charged, not the 4-year-old, apparently. In Florida, there is no statute specifying any minimum age for arrest, which means there is nothing legally preventing a preschooler, even 2.5 years old, from being arrested. And that's pretty much the article there. It tells us that other states have other rules in regards to arresting children. But in Florida, there's no age limit. You can be as young as you like and still get arrested if you've done the wrong thing. And you know what? I'll give you my impression on that, my opinion on that. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Maybe that's because I'm an arsehole, maybe. But, I mean, to me, if you're a 5-year-old and you cause significant harm to somebody, which appears to be the case here, then yeah, some form of punishment ought to take place. I mean, obviously, you're not going to throw them into jail or anything, but with the adults. But certainly you need to do some action. These things can't be laughed off. So there's that situation here. I do feel sorry for the teacher. I mean, it's weird. It's weird. It's very unusual, and because it's unusual, it perhaps has an air of humor to it. An adult being beaten up by children has a little bit of an air of humor to it, but not when you realize this is actually reality, and that actually a woman here, a teacher, actually suffered physical harm to the point that she had to be stretchered to go to hospital. I mean, that sounds like she was beaten up badly. Perhaps there were other factors at play. Perhaps the teacher was suffering from another medical condition, perhaps. But even so, the article seems to be telling us that these two children, the 4-year-old and the 5-year-old, basically beat the shit out of her and were tipping over tables, throwing things at her. They are acting like a real pair of fucking assholes. So, yeah, commiserations, condolences to the teacher concerned. I hope she recovers. I'm sure she will. And I would like to see these two children, getting some form of, I'll say severe, I suppose that's a bit of a vague word, but I'll say severe punishment, certainly adequate punishment. I don't know what that would entail though. What would you do to the children? Because you're not going to imprison them. You know, what are you going to do? I don't know what you would do, but certainly you would do what you can, and presumably consider what's going on in their households. I don't know if the two children, the 4-year-old and 5-year-old, we don't know if they're related. They may or may not be. But if I were the authorities, I would certainly look at their household and what would possibly lead them to be so violent, and my guess, again, sheer speculation on my part, my guess would be that children would only be this violent if they've been exposed to violence within the home. That would be my guess, my speculation. So I would hope that Child Protective Services get involved, have an investigation, and identify whether or not the two children need to be put into special care of some kind. I don't really know what that entails, but you know, something's not right. Anyhow, there's that video. Thanks for listening. If you do like, then consider watching another video or two. You have a good one.